Welcome back. This is time for another video about the fuel pump hangers that I manufacture and design. This time around we're going to be talking about the Nissan Z32 2+2 version. So if you're looking for the 2+0, that would be in the previous video, so you could find them on the history on this channel. So I'm going to make this really quick because a lot of what I've said in previous videos applies here. Not really reinventing anything, using pretty much the same approach to mounting these fuel pumps and the wiring. So let's start probably with the most, well, first of all, this is kind of how the hanger starts out as. The main part of the hanger is the actual hat. It's a machined billet aluminum 6061, and it's anodized whatever color you chose. This time around I offered black and red, and there was a couple of orders with custom colors, one of them being purple, which came out pretty cool looking, so I'll keep that in mind for next time I offer products. Maybe we'll offer different colors as well as a default option. So if you chose to purchase a hanger from me in its naked form, so to speak, it would come just like this, without the fuel pumps installed into it. It will be up to you to have those pumps snapped in. A pretty easy process overall. You do need to be patient and obviously spend some time installing it properly. If you have any questions after this video, feel free to reach out to me either through a messenger or just give me a call, leave me a voicemail if I don't pick up, and I will call you right back once I have an opportunity to. So I will basically talk about the different configurations that I sell these in, and whatever they may arrive to your house in. I mean, whatever you ordered. So the most simple one would be obviously the kind of like a naked version, empty one without the pumps. If that's what you purchased, this is how it's going to look like. I recommend working on this by removing the thinner upright. There's two of them. There's a thick upright, which actually holds the fuel level sensor, and there's the opposite side, which is a little thinner. I call it kind of like a service door almost. It's being held in by 2 bolts up top, 4 bolts on the bottom. It snaps out once the bolts are removed. And on one side you will have a submersible rubber hose for the main pump. On the other side you will have this corrugated some sort of plastic. I think it's nylon, but I'm not really certain what it is, but it's a really good durable plastic, and that will be used for a connection to the secondary pump. This hose is actually it's on a swivel, so while you're making the electrical connections, you're able to swivel it out of the way, install the first pump, make the connections, install the second pump, make the hydraulic, the fuel connection, and seal everything up, put the service door back, bolt everything up, and you can be good to go. I'll show you a kind of like a close-up, give you a close-up look right here, so if you need reference, you might be able to pause the video. Hopefully it's good enough quality for you guys. You can see how things are set up. To kind of give you a pointer, these hangers come with factory connectors that you can hook up directly to your car's harness. So the shorter one is going to be the main connector. So if you're running a single pump, or if you're running a dual pump but you have a primary one, this is the connector that you will be using for the primary or the single pump, or at least that's the way I recommend to set it up. Obviously you can cut up the harness and figure out a way to do it differently, but I strongly recommend using this as a primary and this one as a secondary pump connection. So again, this is the naked hanger version. and this is how it would arrive to your house. This one does not have the fuel level sensor set up. Simply for demonstration purposes, it makes it a lot easier for me to have these placed on a table, because they once the sensor is set up, they want to roll around, and not very convenient. Also up top, they come with different fittings. This one comes with a factory style fitting, an 8mm barb. They can also come with an 8AN connection. They can also come with a 6AN connection. This one is factory as well, and this one is also factory. So, and we can do any combination of. I had questions about guys wanting to run a 10AN. I am literally not sure why you would want that. I mean, it's just way too much gas. I'm not sure what type of engine you want to power with that, but I don't have a 10AN connection. Moving on. So the other option to order this fuel hanger in is the single pump, that you can potentially purchase the pump from me, or you can send it in and I can install it for you. So the way I recommend to set it up is obviously always take advantage of my services and have either purchase the pumps from me, which I have literally the best pricing on, or just send everything in. I don't charge anything extra for that. It's simply there to give it kind of like a peace of mind to me that everything works and everything is installed properly, and less of a headache for you to deal with this, because I mean you're already paying money for this thing, so might as well just have a finished product arrive at your door. This is how the single fuel pump would be set up on the using the submersible rubber hose. Again, it's plugged into the shorter connector, which is going to be the primary. The other hole for the secondary pump would be plugged up by this AN plug, which you can obviously remove and upgrade to a 2-pump configuration down the line. The pump is going to be at this angle when it's installed. And again, I'm trying to make this video in kind of like in a good resolution to give you an understanding how everything should be positioned. This is how the pump is supposed to be positioned relative to the hanger body. So that's the second configuration that it can be in. If you have any questions about this, about setting it up, again, message me, give me a call, I'll get right back to you. This is a dual fuel pump configuration. It has two, I believe these are the Walbro 485s, popped in, installed, and plumbed in, and the connectors are plugged into place. I mean, the thing is, there's not a lot of space inside the hanger assembly, obviously. We're very tight on space. The fuel tank is really low profile, so fitting everything was a bit of a challenge. But I do want you to understand that everything, absolutely everything, will fit if you take your time and carefully watch the video. If you need any pointers, just let me know, and I'll help you get this thing installed into this position, and so that you'll just be able to install the service door on your hanger and bolt it up like this. Okay, so here I also want to show that if you're running a single pump and for one reason or another you want to run it on the other side, that's also an option. You can do it. It's I recommend, and it's probably easier to run it on this side, simply because it's out of the this plumbing right here is out of the way of these connectors. But this customer, he wants to have the hanger delivered in a single pump configuration, but he wants to upgrade down the line. So for me, I feel like it's easier to install this side. So I already pre-installed a pump for him, which he purchased from me. I already pre-installed this pump here, got it plumbed up, plugged in the hole for the other pump, and as you can see, I just want you to notice that this pump, even though it's in a secondary position, it's plugged into the primary connector. So keep that in mind. This has to be a primary one. There's no way to really go around that, just the way that the wiring is set up. Once the customer drives around like this and feels like there's a need to upgrade to make more power, or just wants to have two pumps, whatever the need, he can just remove this plug, install another pump, and yeah, he'll be set to go. I will provide the rubber, this portion of the rubber hose with the fitting. He'll be able to bolt it in, and I don't see that taking longer than about 10 minutes to install. So that's certainly a way to do this. This is another single pump setup. This one is complete, so I just want you to kind of look over this whole thing. I rotated. So the service door is bolted up on this side. As you can see, it's being held in by 6 bolts, 2 larger ones up top, 4 smaller ones on the bottom. I am using a new clamp design on this. It's a lot more simple, and I personally absolutely love it. I'll be using these clamps, this same clamp design on the 2+2 second batch of 2+2 hangers, as no, 2+0 hangers, the 2-seater version as well. So those orders that are still pending, you guys will receive this type of clamp. It's a lot more simple for me to make. It's really very securely holds the pump in, and I just like it better. So we'll be going with that. Here I also want to show you that when you're installing this, you open up the shipping box. I mean, things might move around, and you know, things can get bent because this is obviously just a piece of stainless steel wire. I want to make sure that before you start installing the pump, there's got to be about a little less than 1/4 of an inch space between the body of the hanger and this junction right here. So again, you want to have a little bit of space right there. If I check every single hanger before I pack anything, and I want to make sure that everything is aligned, everything is proper. If your hanger has a little less space, or if there's rubbing, which might be the case after you unbox it, make sure you bend it into this shape so that there's just a little tad of space. It's half a finger width. Reason being is that inside the tank, inside the 2+2 tank, there is a fuel bucket, and the wall of that bucket, it like literally just barely touches the pump body. So there's basically a wall right here going like this. It does not, it barely makes contact with this part of the fuel hanger, but it would not make any contact with the lever. So just make sure that there's a little bit of space allocated here. And again, if you have any questions about this, let me know, and I will go over details. I can show you, I can send you high resolution images, and we can go over details as to what I meant. It's not a problem when it's in the you know, full tank position, because the bucket is actually way below. It sits like right here somewhere. So it's not an issue. I just want to make sure that you guys install this thing properly and it works for you the way it's, you know, designed and intended. So yes, so that's one of the only thing to kind of be you know, vigilant about. Make sure you take this into consideration when you install this thing. When you are installing the hanger into the fuel tank, the best way is to kind of tilt it a little bit. Stick the lever, I mean this black portion, into the fuel tank first, kind of like a hook, and then lower the whole thing straight down. I've installed about 3 of them already in local cars. They all fit. But again, guys, it's tight. Just make sure you're careful, and just be careful with this thing. I mean, it's anodized. It's really nice finish. The more care you take during installation, the better it's gonna look, and it will function properly as well. Um, let's see. I also wanted to show you on a dual pump version. This is the orientation for fuel pumps. This is how they're supposed to be mounted in this manner. This is probably the best way to have it done. It's all the hoses fit and all the clamps are installed. I gotta tighten this one. I just assembled it, so before I ship it, I'm gonna check all of them. Other than that, by the way, if your hanger does not come with pumps installed, it will come with these cool little set screws that will go into these threaded holes right there. And over here you can see the set screws installed, and they will don't put too much pressure when you're installing them, just a tiny amount of like force, just finger tight. As soon as it starts getting snug, let go. You don't need to tighten it super hard. The reason being is that it's not just a simple set screw. It has serrations on it. So once you tighten it, it kind of like bites into the pump body, which is a softer material than this set screw, and it will not back out. It's a really cool set screw that I found, and guys, make sure you use this one. They will come in the little plastic bag sealed up. Another thing that will come with this is a brand new seal for the fuel tank, 6 bolts, countersunk, just to make sure that everything is aligned, and these are, so there's no corrosion or anything like that. These are hex drive. I think this is 4mm, but I mean, whatever, just to check what it is. It's one of those, it's like 4 or 3mm. If you're not getting a fuel pumps installed by me, also in the box there will be Autocare clamps. This one is for the rubber hose, and the smaller one that will be for the corrugated plastic. So keep that in mind. Best thing to install them with is this type of tool, or if you don't have it, you can. I mean, you're absolutely in a rush, you can use a set of pliers. You could just crush this this area right here. But I'm always promote proper installation. So just get this tool. It's like this one is a better one. I got it off Amazon for like $25. You can get something as cheap as $12. So I mean, $12 to install something properly and have a tool handy. I think that's well worth it. One last thing is I wanted to talk about the harness that all of these hangers come with. This side with this orange tip that plugs into the hanger itself. Try to do it with one arm, but sometimes it's tight, so I'm not sure if I'm strong enough to do that. Not really. It has to be an audible click. So make sure it clicks, and then once it's in position, you'll be able to move this lock into its lock location, and it's going to be set to go. It's not going to come off like ever. The other side of this harness is a factory style connector. So this thing is, I was not going to do it initially, but I did this for guys who want to drop in the hanger into the tank at home, plug everything in. This will be a plug and play. Your car should run once you connect this to the connector on your car. So it's going to power up. The top 2 are going to power up the fuel pump, and the bottom 3 are the sensors, the fuel level sensor and the fuel warning light. So this thing, plug and play, ready to go. The reason is I want to give people an option to install this by themselves before if they decide to take it to a shop to have it wired up properly, or get the car tuned. You will save a little shop time on during the installation, and that translates into savings on your shop bill. So that's an option which I wanted to give you guys. So I think the wiring on the 2+2 car, it's a little thicker than on the 2+0. I'm not sure why they did it that way, but it looks pretty respectable wiring. So it will power up the pump, everything's going to run. I personally don't really recommend running the factory harness for too long, but just driving around the block a few miles, making sure everything works, and getting to the shop to have everything wired in properly. Maybe your tuner or your shop thinks this is sufficient. You can just leave it this as is. That thing is going to work perfectly fine. So this is a plug-and-play solution, and this thing will power up the main connector. This connection goes into the main short connection. The long wires that are left here, you'll be able to wire them into to a relay and have that activated by an ECU, and these go to the longer connector. Yeah, that is about all I wanted to say about that. If I haven't covered anything which I might have missed, since I've been working pretty ridiculously hard getting all these orders filled in. We had obviously, as you can tell, we had a lot of setbacks, but I've finally caught up with this batch. For now, I have a 2+0 batch that I need to process that a lot of people been waiting for, and I appreciate everybody's patience. Another thing I wanted to mention is I wanted to show you the see if I can balance this thing. No, I don't want to risk it. I'll just lean it like this. This is the strainer that I provide with. I provide 2 of these with every hanger. Whether you have 1 pump or 2, they get installed at the bottom of the fuel pump. These are really cool because they're low profile and they're stainless steel, so they will outlast literally anything that's out there. These are aftermarket. I found a really good supplier here in the US, and these are absolutely beautiful. When you're gonna receive your order, you're gonna be able to take a look at these, and you're gonna appreciate the quality of these guys. Other than that, I think that covers pretty much everything. Again, this is the 2+2 300ZX hangers. If you guys have any questions or anything that I've missed is something that's being left unanswered, please write me a message, call me, and let me know. Post it in the comments, and I will definitely address that almost immediately, and have everybody set up and ready to go and rolling this summer. So thank you again for your attention, and I appreciate your patience with this order. Hopefully everybody's going to like their stuff. Take care.